All right, what is going on, you guys? This is Tim from 2 a.m. Later. We are back in my home shop for another video. This time I'm going to be doing more improvements to my shop. I tell a lot of people about my shop that is very simple and the tools are very minimalist. So sit back, relax, grab a snack. So one of the things that a lot of us welders in the community use are welding curtains. They block the lights from a lot of people walking by. They make it safe for the environment around us to make sure that passerbys or anything around me is protected. Now, curtains come in all shapes and sizes. They come in different colors, different shades. Personally, I think that the darker colors are higher on the recommended list because they are a darker shade and help with a lot of the UV rays coming through for the passerbys. Every welder knows when you're seeing somebody weld next to you and there's not a welding curtain between you, or you don't have a hood on, everybody is a moth and everybody's just like, light. So the main reason that I'm doing this for, I have 2 kids in my house, I have people that walk by my house. I don't want the excuse that somebody got blinded from the sidewalk that is 40 feet away. I'd rather have a little bit of a safety net and I can actually back myself up with it. The other thing, one of the things that really grinds my gears is when you get dust, scraps, chips, anything that comes from clippings or pieces of metal that you're working on, it kind of goes all over the shop. And when it goes onto the ground, it's a bigger issue than you actually want to deal with. So in my garage, I actually have the hexagon lighting above me that does a really good job at actually displaying a lot of the things and covering this entire garage. I do want to add a little bit more to this front section and right over my welding table and to finish the rest of the garage. Definitely room for improvement with the lighting. I am using what I have and I bought this main display for this result exactly. But here's the idea. I want to take your everyday average welding curtains and hang them from my ceiling so I can make, per se, grind room, so all of the dust, scraps, chips, any clippings would be caught away from the majority of my workspace. We'll deal with the ceiling later. That's a bigger issue that I'm going to be planning on doing more storage ideas in the future. Stay tuned for that. But wait, if I'm gonna do a welding curtain as a partition for a grind room, then why don't I just make one for the welding table as well? So here's the idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my whiteboard and just erase this really not important information. I don't really need this. Who needs to do those things? And I'm gonna use my kids' washable markers on this because I can't find a dry erase marker. So my basic garage, and let's just say for a rough shape, square. So the basic outline of my garage is right here. I have my welder cart, I have my welding table, I have my tool cart, my compressor, workbench. So my idea is to take a partition, move my welder over, wash a little bit of my wall away there. Move the welder over. It is possible to make it in this orientation with the garage that I have. Now for Christmas, I was very fortunate enough to be gifted the main components of the track system that I wanted to do in my garage. This right here is an $80 system off of Amazon. And in this set are provided 90s, straight sections, the rollers, alligator clips, and miscellaneous hardware if you're going to be mounting to studs or drywall. So in my case, I'm going to be using the studs on my ceiling spaced out accordingly to their pattern. It's going to be a little bit easier once we get to the main straight. The 90s are going to be more of the difficult portion. I'm going to set everything up on the ground and just line it up dry to see how everything's going to fit and if it's actually possible. The basic hardware I picked up for this project, some wood screws, all the 1-inch nylon spacers that my local Lowe's would carry, curtain rings. These ones looked a lot more supportive. The alligator clips that come with the rings just don't look that supportive in my opinion. it's going to be holding a welding curtain. Those are a no-go. And how could I forget the most important thing of it all? Welding curtains. These welding curtains that I picked off of Amazon, they are 6x10 in the green see-through. And the one thing I forgot the most is actually getting a drill with a proper drill bits to drill your pilot holes to make sure that they go into the stud straight. I hate when screws go in sideways. Doesn't everybody? I'll have to come back in the next coming days. It is currently 9 degrees out in Chicago right now, and it's going to be dropping down to about -10, saying about -28 with the wind chill. So my plan is to do as much as I can today, let the cold go right past, pick it up when it's about 20 degrees over here in Chicago. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to line up this section with this stud so I can fit it between these things. Obviously I have to move that out of the way. That'll be in the near future when I have to secure this to the ceiling. On this half, it does look like I have to cut, which is nice because I do have to have a section right here. It does have little connectors that you have to use to put the two together if, say, in like this situation, you got a gap like that. You have to use one of those connectors. So, thankfully we can make this work. Do another 90 to the wall. 1 connector, 2 connector, 3 connector, 4.
So right now we've got the actual curtain hung up. I'm really happy with the results. It is a lot bigger, you know. This is a 6x10 welding curtain. It is currently at a 6x10 orientation right now. The honest review on this product, the curtain's great. I'd say the tracking system, or the track system that I picked out on Amazon, the reviews made it seem a little bit easier to do it with this. I couldn't really find anything that was reasonably priced. The tracks were like $80. The 90 degree turns were about $4 for a pack of 2. And I don't have enough hangers to actually hang up the next one because I was kind of anticipating running them into 6 feet, but I don't want to cut or just roll it up for the video. So currently the orientation right now is 6x10, and I'm happy with it. I think this gives me plenty of room to actually do anything behind the curtain, to do anything at my table. It is easy to kind of draw back. It's just these corners with these plastics don't really work very well. And don't get me wrong, it does move. Around the corners, it does give you a little bit of a struggle, but I did take every other one off, and that did help out with the corners. It just takes a little bit of time to actually go, as you can see, that it kind of like catches on the plastic. So I might look at some other solution, or maybe different wheels. I'm not sure yet. For less than $200, I'm pretty happy with the result. None of my family members are going to be blinded next time that I'm welding at my table. If they open the garage door, which is actually right behind this camera right now. If they were to open the door and I was welding, they'd be completely blinded unless I was directly over the arc. If I get both of these up, if I put them in the orientation to cover the table and the welding table, I could work in this area right here without being touched. I'll be able to work in this entire area not being touched because I have the free space to move wherever I want to. This was just an idea that I wanted to do. At my day job, we use a grind room just to keep the dust out. As I'm filming videos and doing a little bit more work in this garage, I wanted to keep it as clean as possible. So if I can keep all the mess on this side of the garage, I think that's a great win. This is Tim from 2 AM Later. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe.